All right, let's take a look at the chart action for the cryptocurrencies that I'm watching. I'm pretty much just going to try to go through these real quick and show you what I'm watching on each one. So on Bitcoin, we're on Bitcoin to US dollar on the Coinbase chart. We had resistance, and gave me this trend line going to the downside, something like that. And we actually broke that trend line going to the upside right here. The one thing we are kind of coming into contact right now is with the 180 moving average, and this is on the daily time frame. So if you go to TradingView and you follow along, just come over here to functions, and then you can go to search and go to moving average, and then click there, come over here, and you can edit these ones over here, clicking that little setting button, come over here, go to 180, and that's how you're going to put on the 180 or the 9 moving average. You could do 180 or you can do 9. So that's pretty much what I'm watching, and this is on Bitcoin, like I said, daily time frame, 180 moving average coming in contact right there. This is at around 4,600 approximately. It looks like we tested it and then came back below it, so we got rejected basically for now. But let's go to like the 4-hour time frame. We still have a couple uptrends that we're watching. We have this uptrend right here, and until we break this uptrend going to the downside, or the downside should I say, sorry, then I'm assuming that we're going to be riding it going to the upside. If we go to the now we're on the 4-hour time frame, we have the 180 moving average coming in like this, and this might give us some support when we come back down. If we come back down and test this trend line right here, maybe this 180 moving average will be the same, somewhere close by it. Let's see if it gives us some support or if we break through it. And like I said, until we break this trend line right here, then I'm assuming that we're going to go up, but it is possible that we break down. But things are looking pretty good for the crypto market in general. I'm pretty bullish right now in general. So let's switch to Ethereum and let's check out what's going on with this. Basically the same thing. We got a big uptrend, and I've talked about this in my last video. The main thing, or not in my last video, but the last time I talked about Ethereum on a YouTube short, it was that we have an uptrend going something like this. Let me get rid of some of these horizontal lines. So we have an uptrend going like this. Let me zoom out a little bit. Until we break this uptrend going to the downside, something like this, then I'm assuming that we're going up. The 180 moving average is kind of far below us right now, so it's possible that we have to come back down and retest that 180 moving average, but like I said, things are looking pretty bullish. We did come up to my target right here. This is kind of where I was targeting in general, but it seems like we're kind of past that now and we're kind of breaking through it. So the next kind of previous resistance would be up here at this top around 4,300 or maybe 4,100, 4,200, somewhere around there. That's the previous that's a previous resistance that we've had before. So that's pretty much what I was targeting right here, and we got there and actually broke through it. We're right here now, so let's see where if we can get to this level. But yeah, Ethereum's looking really good. Like I said, we're watching this uptrend right here, and until we break that trend line going to the downside, assuming we're going up. And like I also said, though, this 180 moving average is getting kind of far. I wouldn't be super shocked if we had to break down and retest it. So let's see what happens. The other thing is, though, we did break above this level right here, so maybe even if we do come back down, maybe that will be the level that kind of gives us some support as well. But yeah, in general, I would say I'm pretty bullish, and I would say maybe the next level of resistance that we might face is somewhere right here, and that's sitting at around 3,500, 3,600, somewhere around there. There wasn't a ton of resistance, but there was a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised if we got a little bit of resistance right there and maybe went sideways, or I'm not sure. We'll see what happens, but the target I would say is this previous top over here. Let's see if we can come back up to that previous top and maybe break through it. And yeah, I don't know. I was kind of looking at the total market cap. We could go to the total market cap real quick and look at that real quick, because this is looking pretty good. So let's go to the daily time frame. And I was looking at this actually on the monthly time frame, but let's look at this on the daily and the weekly for starters. So we had this rising channel. right here, and when we broke below it, that was pretty much the indicator that crypto was going to be kind of in trouble for a little bit, or at least it was going to be in a downtrend. So we were kind of going sideways pretty much ever since here, and we actually got resistance. I talked about this in my last video that gave me this trend line right here. We actually broke through that. We're actually breaking through that, and we are still above that, which is pretty good. I also talked about how we have this trend line right here, and until we break this trend line going to the downside like that, then I think this should be going to the upside. I mean, that's what I'm assuming. We actually also got the 180 and the 9 moving average to cross to the good side, and this is the daily time frame, so pretty good. The next thing I was telling you about is let's go to the weekly before we get into the monthly. On the weekly time frame, I think this is really important. We broke above the 9 moving average right here, and that's been a couple of weeks already, but we actually have bounced on it. We came down. Let me clear out some of these lines. We actually broke above it and then came up and then came back down and retested it, which is exactly what I've been talking about on my videos. If you guys follow my videos, if you're not following, you should hit subscribe or follow. But I've talked about this, how this is an indicator for bullishness. If we can break above that moving average, that's number one bullish, and then number two bullish is if we could get a bounce on it and catch it as support now. So that's pretty much what's been happening. That's pretty much what happened here. It looks like I wouldn't be surprised if we get another like big green candle, or we start really heading up to the upside. Like I said, I'm probably targeting up here right now at 2.4 trillion in the total crypto market cap in general. That's just my opinion. I mean, things are looking really bullish. And if we go to the monthly time frame, like I was talking about, this is what I really wanted to show you guys. We have this 9 moving average coming in all right here. So we broke above this 9 moving average all right here. And this has been pretty much that bull market. And look what happened. We came down, we tested it, and we got a bounce to the upside. Now we're kind of above it. I mean, we came down, tested it, went sideways a little bit, tested it again, came up, tested it one more time, and now it looks like we're nicely above it. So in general, this is what's making me pretty bullish on crypto in general. I had talked about when we broke this trend line going to the outside. Let's go to the daily. I talked about how we broke this trend line right here, and I was looking for previous support to give us some support right now. And I was looking at like this level, and this level, and this, no, not that one. But this one was the purple box is the one I was really looking at. And look what happened, guys. This is what previous support and resistance will kind of at least guide you a little bit. For all in this area, we're getting previous support. So that's just basically like when you look at a chart, go back in time and look for the previous supports, and those will kind of give you an idea of where the price might stop. So this came down, got support right here, went up, came down. It was just bouncing. This was basically the bottom for all this area right here, this purple box, and it's because of this support right there. And so yeah, it's kind of interesting how this area right here is where we got the bounce, and now we're starting to head up. I'm not saying that we're gonna it's impossible that we don't get rejected and come back down, but I don't know. That's my idea. I think in general, like I was saying, we're watching this trend line going to the upside. I'm assuming that we're going up until we break that going to the downside. And like I said, we got that good cross going. So yeah, I think it looks bullish for crypto in general. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was like Ethereum compared to like the other coins, or Cardano compared to the other coins. So, or really Ethereum compared to Cardano and Polkadot. Let's do that. Or Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. Let's see this first. All right, so if we take a look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, this actually looks like a bull flag right here, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so we had previous support, and then we had resistance, 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 resistance. And actually, let me clear everything out just so we can kind of get these trend lines, or you can see what it looks like without trend lines. But look, we got support, 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 resistance, 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 resistance. So we could do trend lines going from that bottom and then going from the top, all along that top right there. So this kind of looks like a flag pattern. So you get like a big huge run up and then a consolidation. It's not a flag, it's a pennant. Some people will kind of nitpick what you say, but it's kind of basically a similar thing. It's a continuation pattern. So I mean, this is what I'm thinking. So you could drag from the top to the bottom of this flag, drag that to the breakout, and we're looking at a target of approximately .1159. I think this is Satoshi's. And if we actually go back on this chart, I had brought out these red lines because these were previous resistance lines, or previous tops, should I say. So in the past, Bitcoin or Ethereum had huge run-ups compared to Bitcoin. Huge run up. And so what I did was I tried to get the tops basically to see when we'll get resistance now. And I'm basically looking at right there, that's the top right there, and that's the top right there. So if we come to the future, or the present, should I say, it looks like we came up to that first line right there, and that's where we got rejected and started to come down. But now it looks like we're about to go retest and probably break through this one, I'm guessing, and maybe try to retest this level right here. So basically what this chart says is that Ethereum might be a better bet than Bitcoin, even though I kind of like Bitcoin better. But as long as this chart is kind of pumping for Ethereum, going to the upside with this continuation patterns, then Ethereum might be a good choice. Having said that, let's take a look at some of the other coins compared to Ethereum. So let's go to like Cardano versus Ethereum. And I had been looking at this a while back. This is when I was doing my Cardano videos. And we had a kind of a falling wedge, or a falling triangle, pretty much, descending triangle. It got a breakout right here, and this is when Cardano was doing really good. And then it was kind of going sideways, and then we got a break to the downside. And this is compared to Ethereum. So basically, Ethereum would have been a better bet. If you would have sold your Cardano right here for Ethereum, then you would have done really good. And that's basically, I think I sold my card. I think I started dollar cost averaging out of Cardano in general in this area when we started breaking to the downside. And I think I started getting more into Ethereum. I still have Cardano, but I think I started to ease off the gas pedal when I saw this. And during this era, when I saw this, I was putting my foot on the pedal because it looked like some of that Ethereum money, and I talked about this, you could probably go find one of the videos I talked about it, is that the Ethereum money would be going into Cardano. So basically, let's see, what can we make of this? If we like Cardano, then basically we have a downtrend right now, and until we break this downtrend going to the upside, then Ethereum is going to be better. But look what's happening right here. If we go to like the 4-hour time frame, it looks like we're kind of maybe getting some support. It's possible that we just do one of these where we get support and then bounce up and then kind of come back down and start trending down again. But I would watch this chart, and I would say, and it's ADA ETH if you want to follow along on TradingView. So it's basically this. I would say we watch this downtrend, and until we break this downtrend going to the upside, maybe you can, if you're watching it closely enough and you see it break that trend line going to the upside, then maybe you can put in an order at the breakout, and then maybe try to get this, maybe it'll come up and try to retest this 180 moving average, or maybe it'll retest this trend line, something like that. So there might be, so we got some resistance right here and resistance right here. If we break this trend line, we might have to come up and retest this downtrend as well. So it might take a little bit. We might have to be a little side. It might have to go a little sideways, but I would say watch this chart to maybe see, if you're watching Cardano, to see when you really want to start getting bullish on that. The other thing I wanted to check out was maybe Polkadot to Ethereum. Okay, so Polkadot to Ethereum, it doesn't seem like it's doing that great, but it also looks like I just said in the Cardano section, we have a downtrend kind of, and maybe even another one, something like this. It's possible that we get some bounces out of these, but we're probably going to have to retest a couple of them as well. So this, we have to break we have to break this downtrend first, but even if we break out of that one, we still have to break this one right here. And this is basically just Polkadot compared to Ethereum. It actually looks like they're kind of trading similar because it's going sideways a little bit, which is pretty good because considering Ethereum is doing so good. But if we go to like the bigger time frame, the weekly time frame, and then we just delete everything, let's just delete everything. We actually have kind of like a big downtrend for Polkadot to Ethereum. So let's do something like this, and then let's do something like this. So these are some other trends that we're going to want to watch. I mean, it looks like we're coming up on and testing one right now. And it looks like this 9 moving average is coming up, and we're about to test that as well. I mean, if we could get a breakout of this is on the weekly time frame. So this would be like kind of like a bigger pump, or maybe like a longer one, or maybe just, I don't know, we'll see. If you like Polkadot, I'll just say watch this chart and see if we break above this on the Polkadot to Ethereum, this is like a sign to get bullish. Number one, this trend line, and then number two would be this trend line. But these are pretty big time frames. So this, like the weekly time frame, it's a big time frame. So I would say it's pretty significant once we do break these. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying I would watch it. .ETH if you like Polkadot, and this on the weekly time frame. But yeah, I mean, I guess we could probably get some other downtrends, something like this as well. I mean, it looks like we've been trending down for a while, and I don't know, it kind of looks like we're getting some support down here as well. We could maybe do this bottom trend line, something like this. Let's watch this right here. We have some sort of triangle pattern, something like that. Maybe this will be the start of Polkadot's big run. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But this is something that I would watch on Polkadot. The other thing we could kind of take a look at is the Bitcoin dominance. It looks like we have a big, huge downtrend, and then we had like kind of like a rising channel, rising wedge, something like that. And we got a breakout to the downside, which makes sense. It's like a bearish pattern, break to the downside. I would have assumed that this would have broke down and kind of trended down more until we went down here. So, I mean, that's what I'm kind of assuming, is that Bitcoin dominance is going to keep trending down unless it can like come back and fake out and re-break this trend line right here. But until it does, I don't know. I would say even watching this trend line right here, we still haven't broken back up into even this bottom support line right here. We broke below that. We haven't broken back above that yet. So in general, my thinking is that Bitcoin is going to take a break, and it might trend down compared to like Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Dogecoin, Litecoin, some of these other ones for right now. That's just what I'm thinking. Unless, like I said, unless we can break back above this trend line right here, and Bitcoin just did a complete fake out right there. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe Bitcoin just gets a huge pump right now and breaks through this. But it looks like some of the altcoins might have a chance to keep running if the Bitcoin dominance keeps going down like this. And actually, Bitcoin is one of my top holdings, so I'm actually slightly biased for Bitcoin. But yeah, Ethereum looks like it's doing pretty much the best right now. I wonder, it'd be nice to see an Ethereum dominance chart. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if there's any other coins you want me to look at, or what you guys think about this video, if you think it's too slow or how I could improve it. I'll be making some Dogecoin videos, and I think, like I said, I think we're going to be getting pretty bullish, so I should be making more videos. Let's see. Alright, like I said, let me know what you guys think. If you guys like the video, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to keep up to date. Alright, you guys have a great day.